Rich, we're ready to start planting the corn.
Yeah.
So if you missed the prior episode, we plowed, we disked. Rich kept on disking after we got done. This time, we're going to plant. Let's get started. Rich, this is an open pollinated corn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not hybrid. It's not like anything that I've ever planted from a corn standpoint. I have no idea what population to plant it. I have the planter set to about 25,000, 25.3, I believe, if I'm on 36-inch rows, and I think that's going to be way too much.
Okay.
Of this open pollinated corn, especially since this is how much your friend sent you.
Right, for an acre.
For a whole acre,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think he intends it to be a lot less than that. So, see if my Nipex will open these. But I can do the population adjustment right here. I've got several different size sprockets. Right, this is what they call the driver and the driven, right? And then we've got a chart over here. So we just choose the appropriate driver and driven to change the population. That's how it works. So I take off these little spacer jobbers here. 26 on the driven is the second one from the end. So I take this off and I slide those babies over. And I line up right here with 26, just like so. And then I pull that over so it's in line. Okay, Rich, I guess just pour them in there.
Okay.
Rake them kind of to the back of the box. And we'll try to take good care of them. Okay, now as far as height, I'm supposed to run so that these bars are flat. I'll drive along here real slow a little bit, and you can see if you can see seeds under this white thing, right after this white thing. See the white thing there?
Yep.
That's called a seed firmer. That's new this year on my planter. It's my nephew Randall added it for us. And anyway, it kind of holds the seed down in there.
Okay.
And you should be able to see them then before those press wheels close it up.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Can you see them?
Yep. I thought I did, but would there have been something already in there, already in that track?
No.
Okay.
You probably saw it. Okay, that looks like pretty good depth to me. My dad told me it's easy to know how to plant corn, just like that.
Is that right?
That depth right there.
It's the perfect length right there.
Yeah. So if you ever want to know how deep to plant corn, it's put your finger and thumb together, stick your finger down in the trench. So I think we're in good shape. I'm ready to plant.
So when you go down and then come back, are you just laying that same tire on the same track from the outside and it's that perfect space?
Trying to.
Okay. I'd feel more comfortable if that bumblebee left him alone.
He didn't even notice, I don't think.
That's probably a good thing.
Probably.
It's one of those carpenter bees, so they won't sting you, but.
Now, you know, Rich, for you and our viewers both, we probably ought to talk just a little bit about open pollinated corn. What is that?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure there's no confusion on what's going on here because, yeah, there's a lot of controversy about GMO corn.
Mm-hmm.
But understand that we're talking about technology here that was used prior to the 1930s.
Right.
When we talk about GMO corn, we're talking about something that didn't, you know, become mainstream till 2000 or so.
Mm-hmm.
In the ensuing 70 years, we grew hybrids corn. And that is where it's crossbred. We would take one inbred and plant in one row, another inbred and plant in, say, 2 or 3 rows beside it. We would take the tassels off, the male portion of the stalk, off of that one row, and it would be pollinated by the other row, right? And so that's how the crossbreeding works.
Yeah.
So I don't know that there's any political controversy on hybrid corn. I've never heard anyone have any controversy whatsoever. I guess it's planting.
What do you
Seed
think?
corn.
Yep. How's the seed box holding up?
I can't tell any change.
Okay.
There's a kernel there, so didn't get perfect coverage there, but
that might be where some of this straw and grassy stuff is.
Oh yeah, it's not going to perfectly.
You've made a friend.
He's been following me.
I was going to say, I saw him when you first climbed on, and then he's like tracking with you.
Which I don't
Christy
like.
Yeah, I know. Christy distracted him a little bit, but then he come back and found you again.
You can take him with you if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll encourage him. I don't know how to call bees.
Yeah, but don't swat at him. I think they're carpenter bees, aren't they?
That one is, yeah, and they won't sting. They're just, it's that sound that gets me.
Controversy started with GMOs.
Right.
And that's done a little bit differently. There's some genetic modification injected into the stalk or the seed. I don't even know when it's done. That's over my head. And I'm not really trying to get into the debate, and I just assume you not get into the debate in the comments section,
Sure.
but I'm just trying to illustrate that there's a big difference here, right? And we're making two leaps here. We're two leaps, I would say, backwards because of my perspective.
Right.
But so I guess what I'm going to ask you is, why did you choose to go all the way to open pollinated rather than just a hybrid non-GMO corn?
The biggest thing is with the hybrid, they're crossing those genetics so that they can influence that seed that's coming back. A hybrid, if it's kept for seed and replanted, it doesn't seed out true.
Correct.
You'll get some of the characteristics, but not all the characteristics.
Yeah, you cannot save your own seed out of the hybrid, so that's the magic to you.
And that's with the open pollinated, you can do that.
So why is that an issue to you?
The biggest thing for us is just trying to limit as much as possible our inputs that are coming onto the farm from external. And so by being able to raise the corn, keep the best of that corn, and use that for seed the following year, then there's no inputs that are coming back into the farm and so there's no expenses then, because we're literally growing our seed and our feed. So that's our thought process going into it. The hybrid, I'm with you. It's the controversy isn't about the hybrid seed. It's just about the GMO.
Yeah.
So that's what, and a lot of folks are particular about that when it's fed to livestock that they're going to consume.
Yeah.
But for us, the open pollinate allows us just to, if we find a variety that will do really well for us, we can keep that seed back year after year with no more expenses and no more inputs coming off. We become what we're striving for, which is sustainable.
Okay.
We can self-sustain that crop year after year after year.
Okay. There you have it. Now, before GPS, a lot of planters would use a row marker. In fact, all the larger planters would use a row marker, that you would dig a little trench right where the tractor is supposed to drive, right the center of the tractor for the next pass. I don't have a marker, and there's a good reason. With a one-row planter, I want to plant right in the middle of the tractor. Really don't know what the appropriate population is, how many seeds per acre needs to be for this open pollinated corn. We chose somewhere in the 18,000 range. If you know anything about this, I'd like to hear your opinion in the comment section. Of course, it'll be too late by then, but hey, at least we'll all learn for next year. A lot of times field corn is planted well over 30,000 per acre, but that's hybrid corn, highly fertilized, and a lot of herbicides applied, so we don't have any weeds. So I assume that we're going to want a lower population for this application.
That bee is staying right on him.
It is, isn't it?
Yep. When he came by here early, when he was up here a little closer, it got distracted with you for a little bit, but then it found him again. And,
wow.
And it's just traveling right with him.
Right behind his neck. It looked
I don't
like.
know what the deal is with that. He must just be sweet like honey.
Must be.
This carpenter bee really thinks he's my friend. He's been been with me the entire time here.
This is going to be a lot of corn by hand.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and that's why we thought on a small plot like this. I've got a 2-row picker that if we decide, yes, this is something we want to do, we can do some renovation on and get it service
Okay.
ready. It was working when we got it. Now, it's been a few years ago.
Okay.
So we've got some options to grow bigger if that's what we decide we want to do.
So are you going to grind this for your animals, or will it just be thrown out whole kernel?
We'll feed it out whole.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, with the chickens, if we decide to grind some of that up, my brother has a feed grinder.
Okay.
That I could, load up a truckload, take over, grind it into a bin, bring it back.
Now, this is a John Deere 7000 or 7100 planter unit. It's actually made from a much larger Deere planter. The 2 drive wheels, the transmission that we showed earlier are all from the original planter. I've chosen a 1-row version so that I don't plant right behind the tire track. It would make no sense after doing all this work to get the ground the way you want it for planting to then plant right behind where you've packed down with your rear tires. Further, if you want to do any row crop cultivating with the same tractor, how are you going to do so if you can't straddle the rows? So I recommend a 1-row for a 1025R, it's all it can lift, and maybe a 3-row for slightly larger tractors.
It looks like we'll have enough.
Is it where we had hoped?
I think we'll be about right.
Nailed it? Yep. Because you think that's about halfway?
I think we're close. Yeah, I think we're
Maybe
halfway.
maybe a little bit more even.
And,
Excellent.
I also think we may be a little more than an acre.
Oh, really? Well,
But,
I'll measure it off and see what it comes out to.
Okay, that's interesting.
See where
You have
we're
a
at.
wheel? You can measure what we're hearing.
No, I usually just step it off.
Oh, okay.
Use Google.
Well, you can do that. see what it says. Yeah,
All
'cause it'll be
right,
interesting.
see what kind of space we're looking at.
I got my planter from joharrissales.com. They build these custom planters in 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, maybe even 12 rows in both 3-point or pull type styles. They're in the heart of big ag country, so they understand farming very well. However, they've been working with these smaller organic farmers for a few years, so they're getting a product line that's a little more broad than you might expect. When you contact them, make sure you mention that you saw them on Tractor Time with Tim.
If my steps are right, we're not at an acre.
Oh, really?
But and I'm going to walk it again just to make sure I didn't mix something up. But when I walked it, I walked 44 steps from one corner to the other, 66, which would put us right, figure a step, but 135 feet by 200, which is
Oh, I didn't plow enough,
27,000
did I?
square feet.
Sorry, I could have
No,
plowed more.
you're fine. So we've got a little over half an acre, close to 2/3 of an acre, something like that.
That'll be enough, though, don't you think,
Oh,
to
yeah.
get us started?
Yeah, that'll give us, something to measure so we can look at,
Yeah.
what it is.
I-
If we want to do it again, how much we're going to need to put out for how many hogs, how many chickens, how many
Yeah.
eggs do you want?
I don't think we would have had enough corn to plant anymore. I think we're going to get to the point. I need you to stay down here with me. We're going to get to where we need to rearrange it and put it back to the back of the dish here
Okay.
every
time
round.
you come down and back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And
Yeah,
then we'll
if it-
just plant
and
until we run out.
I won't be a bit surprised if it meters out just right. I mean, because that's just how the Lord works stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
I guess you're right.
He just takes care of it. I'm not sure how much in the very bottom of that box it's holding, but I'd say probably maybe 2 rounds, maybe 3,
Okay.
and it'll be done.
He's trying really hard to drive straight.
It's a challenge, isn't
And
it?
now I'm in his way of whatever he's watching.
You don't have an auto steer on that? That's the next episode you need.
Yeah.
Get Tim an auto steer. I'd say maybe 1 more down and back.
Oh, the cupful will hold a
Or
good
2.
bit.
That's what I didn't know how much was down in here.
Another round or so is probably, another round or 2 is going to be it. Any in there?
Yeah. I don't know how far that goes down, but it's still
We got at least
quite a bit
another
in
round,
the
don't
cup
we?
there. So how deep is that cup there in the bottom? Do you know how
Well,
much that's holding?
It goes, you can kind of see the outside of the unit here. Right there's the bottom of the cup.
Okay. Yeah, Kathy said anything we don't put in corn, she's gonna put pumpkins in.
Okay.
I told her that was fine as long as it stays out of my cornfield.
Well, actually, pumpkins in your cornfield's not so bad.
I've heard that.
So that's not bad at all.
I think this might be the last down and back. I mean,
That would be about right then for what you
yeah,
plowed and disc.
yeah. That's why I say if it meters out like that, because we're kind of estimating where do we stop plowing, and then we're kind of estimating the seed per acre. And if it all meters out like that, you just have to look at that and say, well, thank you, Lord,
Yes.
you did that for us, you know.
I'm going to plant down there, and it'll probably be a part of a row.
Okay. Is there still some in there,
There's
though?
still some in there.
I figured
can
it
barely
would
reach it with
probably
my-
just make it through that last round.
I can reach it with my fingers. I can't see it, but I could reach a few
Yeah.
kernels with my fingers. I can't
Okay.
imagine that there'll be enough to finish this row, but
Uh-huh.
like you say, you can plant pumpkins
Yep.
wherever it doesn't show up.
Yep, you sure can.
You see any?
I don't see anything.
Okay.
That may be all of it.
See if any more comes out.
I didn't see any in that last row. I don't see anything dropping either, do you?
No.
So that was just
So I
just
probably
perfect.
went one row extra. Or you know what I'm saying?
He said you
Yeah.
were marking the pumpkin row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Rich, we're done.
Looks great, doesn't it?
I'm excited
Look how
about this.
straight
actually.
these rows are.
Yeah, that one's got a little crook in it. Boy, I tried. I really worked at this trying to get
Yeah.
these straight, and I think my dad would still be disappointed in me.
Those old-timey farmers, they could cut a straight row, couldn't they?
I'm interested in seeing how this is going to turn out.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to come back to see if we've got a stand, and then to
Yep.
see if we can keep the weeds
Keep
away.
the weeds out of it, yeah.
I think that's our next approach, and I believe you're going to get a cultivator.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna hook it to the 3025.
Yep. Rich has got a 3025E, and it's got a little more ground clearance than either of my tractors, so I think that'll be good for this. You'll be able to cultivate it a little bit longer, a little bit later, and you'll have to do it pretty frequently here when it's young.
Mm-hmm.
And see if you can get those weeds down. Hey, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on
Tractor Time with Tim. Look, Ma, no hands.
No, I'm not going to tear up the front axle.
Do it again.